Okay, and we're live. You know what I just noticed? How some dog owners look just like their dog. That guy looks just like his dog. He's got a bulldog. They have the same kind of face. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just interesting. How is everyone? No sun today. It's been gloomy all day. It's starting to rain. Hey, Nana, how's your vacation? You're probably having, hi, Bitey Cat. You're probably having nicer weather than we are. And the temperature here in Massachusetts, it's 71, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels cooler. So I uploaded that video, that blue heron. I got here a couple of hours ago, and good. Your vacation is really good. I saw a blue heron. He or she was so beautiful. So beautiful. Hey, Denise, how are you? Just shut my motor off before I run out of gas. So I'm sorry, excuse the sniffles. I got the flu shot Friday, and Saturday night I started getting body aches, and I'm sweaty, and I'm like, why do I feel so crappy? And I've never received side effects from the flu vaccine, except for maybe a sore arm at the injection site. But I've been sick, like body aches. This is day, 3? Saturday, Sunday, day 3. So I started taking NyQuil daytime. I can't take the nighttime stuff because it freaks me out. There's something in it that doesn't agree with me. And I get nightmares and I'm restless. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better. But I heard it's a quad vaccine. You know, there's 4 components in it, but they did change it up a little bit this flu season from last year. So obviously, I'm wondering if it's a component of COVID, because I don't do well with the booster shots. I don't feel well for like 1 day, but this is like 3 days now. But I hope everyone's doing well. There's a soccer game going on. I'm surprised because it's raining. Well, it's sprinkling. I had Chipotle for dinner. The vegetarian, the white rice, beans, tomatoes, corn. It was good. Denise, the blue heron was beautiful, wasn't it? They say they stand like 4 feet tall. I got close to it enough where he took off, but to see it that close, I don't think I've seen a heron that close. It was really magnificent. So what's been going on? I haven't been on YouTube all day, except Davida just went live. Good evening, Sandra LA. How are you? Nature calms me. Yeah, me too. It's nice and calm here till the soccer games start. The kids. There's so much energy. I didn't know if you all, I talk about yoga a lot and meditation. I didn't know if you wanted me, I can read you, introduce you to exactly what yoga is, the meaning of it, if you'd like. And it's not getting yourself wrapped in a pretzel form either. I mean, that's what a lot of people deter from it, because they think I can't wrap my limbs like that and crisscross my legs. You don't have to. You can do yoga sitting in a chair. Let me just get a Kleenex. I have sniffles. Hey Edie, how are you? Good to see you. Nana Patty, is it hot there? I know you said it was going to be like in the 80s. Black Eagle, just stretch it out, period. How are you, Black Eagle? Evie, have you been sick? And I didn't plan on getting the flu shot Friday. I was in CVS and I was on their app scheduling an appointment because they said they didn't take walk-ins. And I've had problems with the app. It sucks because if you find something that's not available or that day, I don't know, a lot of times it makes you start all over again. So I was going to make an appointment in October, and they asked for my health insurance information, and I didn't have it on me. So I went up to the consultation booth, and I asked the gentleman, can you just print out my health insurance information so I can put it in for an appointment? He says, oh, we'll take you now. I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, our technician, whoever is the pharmacist giving the flu shots, is really good and really fast. So I was like, okay. So I'm kind of glad I did it, get it over with. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. So I figured out, with the help of also Casbat, how to stop getting notified. The @ symbol, when you don't want to be notified. There is a way in your notifications, you go to the video, you don't even have to watch it. You hit the 3 dots and it says turn off notifications. And you can also, like Casbat said, block the person. So if you have them blocked, they can @ you all they want. You will not see the notification. So that Ramblings channel, Clip channel, who thinks I'm going to watch their videos, and I don't. And I'm very disciplined that way. You just block them. Because I know they've notified a lot of creators. So you just block them. And you won't get their notifications. So, moving on. It's a stupid channel anyway, from what I hear. It was created not too long ago, and it's definitely a Ramblers channel. And, how do I put this? Riddle me this, Ramblers channel. Is your snowplow maintenanced up for the winter? Hint, hint. Get your snowplow all maintenance up before the snow comes. Tracy, hello. Joanne, unfortunately you became a quasi cheerleader. Only you didn't volunteer. I don't watch. I'm very self-disciplined. I've always have been. If I don't like something, I don't watch it. I'm very good at that. I don't know how some people, I've known people who've had clip channels go after them over and over, and they watch every single, I'm like, why do you do that? Why do you put yourself through that, you know? Choose joy, not misery. It is laughable, yeah, from what I've heard. Yeah, so get your snowplow ready out there. Make sure it's tuned up. Gotta plow that snow. Hint, hint. So, Queen Elizabeth's funeral, how beautiful. I mean, it puts us, the United States, to shame. I kept thinking, like, the funerals we have, you know, for our presidents, all the important people who are lying in state, we have no class. I'm sorry, but the UK, they're classy people. They're polite. Look at the crowds. They're so well behaved. You come to the States and people, they're idiots. Yo, did you hear so-and-so died? Yo, like, yo. You know, and then you'll see them in the crowd screaming, and you'll see protesters. You know, it really puts us to shame. I admire the UK. They really are respectable, classy people. There was a creator who covered the Watts case that I love to hate watch until I regain my self-control. Yeah, I never got into the Watts case. As soon as the guy pleaded guilty, I was done. And I didn't follow any particular creator. I followed, like, the news networks that covered it. It was simple to me. The guy pleaded guilty. He did it. It was over for me. Are you far from St. Joseph's? Where's that at? Just a mom. Hey, Mary, how are you? St. Joseph's. I don't know. You gotta tell me what town that it's in. Been on the Watts case from day one. He pleaded guilty. He did it. To me, that was, you know, I didn't want to go down rabbit holes. And especially the family, the Ruziks, were requesting that people stop. Nobody did. And then I found out that Mrs. Ruzik got involved with Mummy Ramblings. And I'm like, you know, that press conference that Mr. Ruzik did, what a waste of time. It was a lie. Frank Jr. started a YouTube page. I mean, it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But even the Ruziks got sucked in to the crap going on about their own child's, you know, murder and their grandbabies. It's horrible. If it were my family member, you wouldn't even see me on social media. No. If I was going to do a press conference and tell people to leave our family alone, you would not see me on social media. You think more people are involved. I think the fact Europeans in general have more class, yeah. Hey, Yvette. Yeah, it was done. You pleaded guilty. I don't think there is anything else to figure out. A human is capable of killing an entire family. So I don't know why people just think there's something else going on. You know, like what sucked people into that rabbit hole? Is it that we don't want to hear the truth? It's just weird to me. Well, you would be on social media, but with your identity totally disguised. Not if it came to my own family member. No, it would be too painful because people are cruel. People can be just so cruel. Nah. And that's how I can detach so easily from people, from channels. It's very easy. And people who know me in my real life will say, yeah, Pink can just walk away. And I suppose that's an attribute. And someone once asked me, well, what do you supplement that with? If you walk away from people in your life that hurt you, you know, it's like trading one thing for another. Like, what do you supplement that with? Like, nothing. Like, nothing. I just made a choice, a decision, and pushed the negativity away. So I don't replace it with anything. Okay, I'll be a preview of coming attraction. Hey, Ladybug Toes. I like that name. Oh, look at the raindrops. White middle class aren't supposed to be serial killers other than Bundy, Dahmer, Manson, Iceman. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point, Black Eagle. You know, because our brains can't, the normal brain can't wrap around that kind of sort of atrocity, you know? So we're always looking for, well, how to be somebody else, or no, I just think the guy did it himself. He snapped. Oh, just a mom. Did you tell me where St. Joseph's is? Did I miss it? You're welcome to come to Dedham in October, to Lizzie Borden's pet's grave resting place. Pink, did you see the new videos of Merb? No, where? I haven't been on YouTube all day today. Mary, where? You got some bad storms. Yes, I'm done with the rain. Yeah, Mary, I heard Puerto Rico got hit bad. Remember Hurricane Maria 5 years ago in Puerto Rico? One of my co-workers' father, they were from Puerto Rico, but her father was still there, and he was going through chemo treatments, and we all collected money, and she flew him to the States, and he ultimately, I think he passed away a year later, but look at the raindrops on. Those are kind of cool. Yeah, right. Yep, Taiwan had a huge earthquake. Illinois had tornadoes. Yeah, just a mom. So sorry for your loss. Go watch it from yesterday. Mary, where is it though? Did she comment? Is it from a clip channel? Because if it's Merb's channel, it's a snooze fest. I heard about it. If you're talking about her channel, but no, I have no desire to watch it, really. I mean, I heard she just threw all the ex-Ramblers under the bus. Of course she did. Yeah, yeah. Did she get all her frustrations out? Rinse, lather, repeat. Rinse, lather, repeat, Merb. You know, all these people have left, right? And you're going to pick every individual out and diss them, fight anything on them, when the common denominator is Merb, and that everyone is left basically for the same reason. So when you get to a point where lots and lots of people keep leaving and your channel's tanking, you got to look at yourself and say, What can I do better? You know? Come on. Come on. It's so childish for her to, dig up stuff on people or create pseudo, put out pseudo information, fake information, because her subscribers believe everything they hear, you know? And I've done these social experiments before on my own channel. Well, I'll say something and people will believe me, you know? We see it all the time. And I'm sure she didn't show one bit of proof. So talk is cheap. Talk doesn't pay the bills. Same script, just different cast. Yeah, the patterns of behavior. Absolutely. And of course, she never does anything wrong, right? Never. Never. No. Nope, nothing's her fault. That's one thing you should teach your kids always. Is to always take responsibility and accountability for your actions instead of focusing on the other person. You know, what can I do better? It's like punishing a kid, right? Putting him in timeout. All right, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Unless the kid knows why they're in timeout for 3 minutes or 4 minutes, you're not teaching them anything. They have to recognize their behavior and they have to be willing to change that behavior. So it's important with children because you don't want to raise a child that was never taught that, you know, how to be accountable, to be truthful. Listening to her is unhealthy. Yeah. She's always, she's just always angry to me, she's just comes off as a very angered woman. And some people you just can never help. No matter how much you want to, you're basically powerless over other people. So, it's her life. The YouTube flagged it. Huh? It was in italics. She sounded shocked, someone mentioned it. Oh, just a mom, thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, email me. I take it you're from my state. Hi, Rosia. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you. Don't get drop-down notifications from my favorite peeps anymore. Yeah, I don't know why that happens. People have said unsubscribe, then resubscribe. I don't know if that works, but I suppose it won't hurt to try it. There are some channels I get notifications, but later, like maybe 30 minutes after they've been live. And some channels I get notified right away. I miss my kids being that small. I don't want to get them. Oh, there's some ducks that just took a nosedive. Did she get more dogs? Hey, Vicky. Who? Merb? Unsub resub doesn't work. Do you get notifications for community posts or videos, Rosie? You're in West Roxbury? Get out of here. I have family there. People from my biological family. Roslindale area, West Roxbury. I go through there quite a bit too. Because I often I go to Forest Hills a lot. Cemetery. West Roxbury's nice. Nana Patty, what happened to your dog? I know you lost your cat. She must have spent a lot of money on the new dogs. She got new dogs, Merb. Oh my God. We all need to pray to St. Francis of Assisi. Seriously, the saint of all animals. No community post notifications either. Let me look into that, Rosie. I don't know why. Maybe if you Google how come I don't get YouTube notifications. Maybe it's the settings in your Google account. Nana Patty, you lost your cat. Did you lose your dog as well? Because I know your dog had a UTI. I'm trying to scroll back. So just a mom, you're close to Pine Ridge Cemetery, the pet cemetery. There's a new part and an old part. Lizzie Borden's pet's grave is in the old part. In the furthest part of the cemetery you can go. You probably wouldn't find it if you went there on your own, but I know where it is. It's in the furthest, like you go to the old section, you walk as far down as you can. You pass the grave that says Igloo. Admiral Byrd's dog is buried there. Igloo, it's a good size monument. And you keep walking down to the furthest corner of that cemetery, and there's Lizzie Borden's pets. The dog just has a UTI and had to go to emergency vet on Saturday. Yeah. Okay, yeah, your cat. Yeah, so sorry about your cat. I have 1 cat and 4 dogs. Wow, that's a lot of work. We just have Hank. We still are fostering that senior dog. We rescued it while its owner is looking for housing, but we've had him, 3 months now? We love him. I don't know if he's gonna, if his owner gets housing, if he's gonna wanna go. The thing is, she can't walk him. He's, because of her disability. That's how my son met her, because he would walk her dog, and did so for a couple of years. And she was evicted. Her father, I guess, had a reverse mortgage, and she wasn't aware of it till after he passed away. And this was a home she grew up in, and she tried legally so hard to keep the house. And they just showed up one day and evicted her, moving trucks and everything, no notice. And it was almost a year. I think she had a year, but they showed up at the 10-month mark. And my son happened to be there. And I had just moved in with my parents to take care of Mom. And he texted me, and he's like, do you mind if we take Hank? And I'm like, no, it won't, it's temporary, but. You have a 6-month-old Chihuahua? I had a Chihuahua. She was the best dog. She wasn't even an ankle biter. She didn't even bark. She was the sweetest. You have 1 puppy, Cocker Spaniel. He's 7. One dog, 3 cats. So is anyone interested in yoga, meditation to clear your heads? Five dogs and 3 parrots, lady died. Oh my, do you have to get like a special license for that? Here in my state, you can't have any more. If you have more than 3 dogs, you have to get a kennel license. Pitter-patter raindrops. Yeah, pets are so costly to take care of me. Just feed the deer that run through here. Yeah, they're not cheap. My God, my windows are fogging up, like on the Titanic with Rose and what's his face in the car, the bottom of the ship, fogging up. And you see the handprint just. Can't even do it in light. Jar of heart. Let me see. And I'll draw a footprint too. I can do footprints easy. No, maybe not. Paw prints. Okay. Alright, there's my heart. And there's kind of like that's a bear print, and I make those in the snow, and I flip out my coworkers when they're walking up to work. I'll make paw prints that look like bears, and they'll be like, there's bear prints out there. And they'll be like, really? Especially when you work second shift and you're going outside and it's dark out. You're like, when they leave work, you're like, watch out for those bears. You want a beer? Tear you for a butt print. Not today. If I was feeling better, maybe. You want a monkey? I always wanted a monkey, Mary. Always. And I used to ask Santa every year for a monkey. And every year I was sure he was going to get me a monkey, a chimp. And it didn't happen. I was so disappointed. I got a baby, tender baby love tender doll one year. I didn't even like dolls. I was a tomboy. Apparently I asked for one, but I don't remember. I played with Matchbox straps. You have a pug named Winnie and a cat named Penelope. Oh. Hey, jelly beaners. You sleepy? Oh goodness, mosquitoes are horrible. My yard just fed 599 billion of them. Yeah, I wouldn't understand. Well, I believed in Santa Claus at that point. I would see Santa Claus at the mall. I'd be like, yo, I want a monkey. You know, he never said no. He never said yes either, but you still have your baby tender love? Okay. Why is it that I've got my defrost on and nothing is defrosting? I think that Hulk Hogan got divorced. I read something about ex-wife having complaints, having more than 5 dogs, and I believe her limit was 5. Well, I got a baby tender love doll, and it was an African American or black one because they ran out of white ones, And it didn't matter to me because I remember receiving it. But I remember getting looks from people, like if I brought it with me somewhere, they were just like, the adults, it was very telling at that age that I'm like, why are they looking at my doll like that, But apparently all the white ones were sold out. And my mom and dad got me a black baby doll. And prejudices are taught, and how I learned, because someone in my life, an adult, not my parents, told me when maybe I was first or second grade, why I shouldn't hang out with black people. And I'll never forget that. That's like a pivotal moment in my life that I will never, ever forget. And I remember feeling like, why? Like, Come on, defrost. Yeah, put it on cooler. Was Chrissy the doll, you pressed her back and her ear got longer? Thanks, Julia. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. I had 2 black Barbie dolls because I love the outfits they came in. Parents didn't care, but my friends would want to do something. That's awful. But again, it's taught. Prejudice is taught. So someone in their life, even though it was said to me, I knew at a young age, like, no, that's not right. They try to convince me that they're that color because they don't take a bath. Like, even at that young age, I knew that was a lie. For me, but I love them all with flip. I got lost near West Roxbury in 1979. Was just 23 years old, pulled an all-nighter, couldn't get home, went straight to work. Worst day ever. So, just a mom, what do you think of Rossendale Square now? Isn't it nice? Can you believe how great of a change that square is now compared to like the 1980s? I mean, we weren't allowed to even drive through there. It was like, avoid the square after dark. But the yuppies came in from JP, Jamaica Plain, and watched those shops that closed down, set up coffee tea shops, little boutiques. Favorite doll was Baby Boo in 1966. That was a long time ago. Yeah. Never heard of her. Baby Boo. Was she the baby that had 2 faces that you could... What was the baby doll that you could turn their head and one was awake or one was sleeping or happy or crying? That was a freaky... I never had it. My friend had it. I was freaked out by that doll. Oh, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Thumbelina. There's the lake. You haven't been there in years. Just a mom, you'd be surprised. It's so different now. It's nice. It's nice. You can't touch Rossi for even housing now. You had a doll with green hair? Ew, the lights. Why am I keep? It just. Oh. Okay. The American Girl's doll store in Hollywood is like an entire world. I've been to the one in New York, in Manhattan. I took my daughter there. She was a tomboy too. But everyone had to have one. I basically talked her into getting one, which was ridiculous because it's still sitting in my closet, untouched. And we got matching pajamas. Well, she did. So the pajamas that the American Girl doll had, they were like light lilac, satiny type. And I got my daughter a pair of those pajamas. So she wore the same pajamas as her doll. She could have cared less. But we had a great weekend. It was Columbus Day weekend. We stayed at the Palace Hotel, which was right next to St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is it's a gorgeous church in New York. You used to buy those Russ troll dolls. I've never heard of those. I've heard of the troll dolls. Oh, the Russ, yeah. The AG's American Girl store in Manhattan is like wonderland. As an adult, I'm obsessed with it. Look at my crazy life. We went to the restaurant, right? In the American Girl doll store. This girlfriend of mine went with us. She was going to treat us to dinner, right? That particular night. I didn't have my purse on me. I left it at the hotel. We were right across the street. I don't know why I didn't have it. We all ordered pasta. It was $25 a plate back then, and this was in the 90s, right? And it wasn't the best either. My daughter's younger, and she starts like teasing her about something, and my daughter got a little bit offended. So I asked her, could you just not be like that with my daughter? The woman, my girlfriend at the time, flipped out, got up and left with her daughter and left me with the bill. Loss and Prevention comes up to me and they're like, you got to pay this bill. And I'm like, no. The person who was paying it just walked out. I said, I'll do dishes, but I am not paying. First of all, it was a ripoff. It sucked. It was expensive. So I'm not paying it. And I didn't. I walked out. I said, go ahead, call the police. I don't care. But that girl that we drove together in her vehicle. She had a BMW. We drove to New York. And I remember my mom saying, think about, when you go away with a friend, really think hard because sometimes you don't really know them. I'm like, Ma, I know her. I've known her for years. Well, she had some mental problems and she was doing drugs. I didn't know it until we got there. She was doing the soda, soda Coke. And she's my ride home, and we're on the highway, and she asks her daughter, who's like 13 at the time, hand me my medicine. Her daughter pulls out a prescription bottle that says Trazodone on it. I'm in the back. Her daughter's in the front. And I'm like, oh, hell, I need to get out of this car. So we're in Connecticut, and I lied to her, and I said, can you get off at the next exit? I mean, she's acting weird. She's manic. I said, can you get off the next exit? Because I have my period, and I need a bathroom, like, right away. Okay. She gets off the exit. We pull up to a Walgreens. I said, can you pop the trunk? My wallet's and my luggage. She pops the trunk. I grabbed my suitcase and my daughter's, and I said, get away from me. Leave. And I'm in Connecticut, like across the New York border, not even close to Massachusetts. And this family there, Christian family was there, They heard the commotion. I told them I don't feel safe with you driving, and they drove my daughter and I to a hotel. And then I got a ride the next day from a friend of mine. So I'll always remember my mom saying, you never know. You think they're your friends until you live with them or you go away with them. And it's so true. Right, trazodone. I knew trazodone was a sedative of some sort because I took it once for sleep and it knocked me out. Like, I wouldn't even take it again. So I knew, like, she's driving, and she's like, I'm gonna piss my pants if you don't get in this car. I'm like, then pee your pants. And she wouldn't leave. And I said, if you don't leave, I'm going to call the police. Leave me alone. I'm not safe with you. And after about a half hour, and she was erratic. And I don't even know why I wasn't thinking about her daughter. It was just mind-blowing that all I could think about was just get out of the car. Tiffany Taylor Toiler doll, no. Yeah, Jelly Bean, I thought fast. I didn't think I could pull it off. I hadn't had my period since my 30s because I had both my ovaries out. I'm just like, yeah, I got my period. I need my wallet. And she fell for it. Thank God. But you never know. And I'll never forget that, you know. I think maybe we should have stayed in separate rooms. I don't know. Or maybe I just should not have gone with her, period. But I learned my lesson. And I don't even think I don't know, maybe I did tell my mom what happened. Oh my goodness. That's a sweetie one now. Trazodone isn't a scheduled medication, doesn't touch me, but everyone is different. Yeah, Jelly Bean, right? My adrenaline was going. I mean, she's going like 100 miles an hour down the Jersey Turnpike, or I don't know what that turned to once you're in Connecticut. And I'm like, it's almost like it must feel like when you're kidnapped and you try to do reverse psychology with the kidnapper, right? Like feed into their behavior. And I kept saying, whatever she was going off on, I'm like, no, I get it, I understand, you're okay, And then she told me while we were driving, she peed her pants. And I'm just like, this is weird, but I need to be safe and just get her off this highway and to stop this car because I'm never going to get out any other way. And I remember her husband called me when we got home, like blaming me, and I'm just like, look, your wife's got a drug problem. And I said, you're not going to blame me for this. Keep her away from me, get her help. And I found out too, she was in and out of psych hospitals and had an affair with a guy that she met there at a psych hospital, a much younger guy that she told me about. She reminds me a lot of Molly Golightly, Her husband had a good job, they had a beautiful home, and she would just get bored, I guess, but she had quite a history. But I didn't know that until after. So before you go away with somebody, one of your friends, make sure you really, really know them. Do a dry run. Spend a night at a hotel together. One night before you go on a vacation with them. For insomnia, my doctor, I would get prescribed lorazepam, and even that knocks me out. But it's the least side effects I get from any of the sleep meds. But I don't take that often. I took one the other night. Probably the first time in over a year. I'll usually take one when I fly to Hawaii because it's a 13-hour flight, but I slept till 11:45 in the morning, and I just like, I can't. Hey, Steph, how are you? Good to see you. I love that looping look. So, does anyone have any vacation nightmares? Like literally going on vacation. A friend of mine, her friend's daughter and son-in-law just got married. This was during COVID. I'd say a year ago, before they lifted all the restrictions for flying. So from Boston to Maui, it's a 13-hour flight. You have a layover, one layover. I guess they have a straight flight now all the way to Oahu, but you need a layover. You got to get up and stretch. So it's either San Francisco, Colorado, LAX. So they flew all the way to Maui for their honeymoon. They get to the airport in Maui. And because they did not test for COVID per Hawaii's restrictions, they had to fly all the way back to Boston. Yeah, that was their nightmare. Can you imagine flying 13 hours? They won't even let you out of the airport. And they had to fly all the way home. You went on vacation with one of my sisters. Oh my God, it was hell. Hawaii, don't mess around. No. And I still have an open-end ticket to go. I was going to go back in April, the year COVID started. And COVID started in March because I go every 6 months to see my friends. And I haven't been back. But I think the restrictions are lifted. And they weren't able to get their money refunded either. So they had reservations at a resort, all that, nothing. They couldn't even get a refund. So going to Hawaii, even though it's 13 hours, at least you're looking forward to being on the island, right? Can you imagine? Because flying back from Hawaii is miserable enough. It's a long flight, your vacation is over, but can you imagine flying there and being told you gotta fly home? Another 13 hours? No refund on the resort, nope. I see the fog over there, or is that my windshield? Hold on. No, that's fog. No, sorry. No, that's my, that's condensation, Pink. It's really strict when service members get stationed in Hawaii. Their pets have to be quarantined for a long time. Yeah, that is true. I think a lot of people send their pets ahead because of that. Like if you're moving there, they'll send their pets a couple of weeks. Or I think the quarantine is like a week to 10 days. Yeah, it does look like fog. It's my windshield, I think. I don't know. It's spooky though. floor. You went through a bit of a nightmare travel story once. Care to share? So I think that was my only nightmare vacation. It was Columbus Day long weekend, so it wasn't a whole week. I think if it was, I would have left. And I think during the day, like we got there on a Saturday, I think Sunday, I just remember taking my daughter and just spending the whole day into the night walking around New York, sightseeing. And she would panic, and when I came back, she'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm about to call the police. I don't know if you were kidnapped." She was just nuts. And I would tell her, "I'm going out with my daughter. See ya." And it was raining that Monday. It poured. Or was it Sunday? But the New Yorkers were very nice. I got lost. And they were nicer than Bostonians, that's for sure. I'm gonna type it for you. It actually may serve as a bit of a PSA. Let me type it out. Like a cautionary tale. Yeah, Jelly Bean, it gets dark here early now. If the sun were out right now, obviously it would be setting. It sets around 7 p.m. now. When I moved and flying to Arizona from Boston, flight attendant opened above storage and 2 canes clunked my companion on the head. They put us in first class. Oh, that was nice. Just for getting a clunk on the head? Oh. Only time being in first class. Yeah, it was overcast all day and it started raining around 5. Sprinkling. Yeah. Let me drive out of here. Because it's getting... Go ahead. Hi. Maybe I shouldn't. He's cute. My husband and I planned a trip to the Netherlands. Wanted to visit the Tulip Gardens, Keukenhof, and Amsterdam. You just planned a trip? Or you planned one and never went? That sounds beautiful. I've seen, videos of the Tulip Gardens. You know where I want to go to someday, which I don't know if I'll ever. Is it China or Japan? Rabbit Island. Door open. Come on. Let me just get out of here for a minute. So if you look up Rabbit Island on YouTube, this island just full of rabbits. It's crazy. But can you imagine all the rabbit poop that's on that island? They don't show you that part. This road sucks. There's light. When it gets, if there's some creeper guy, here comes that girl. Go ahead, kidnap me, please. I'll pull over in like 5 minutes. Actually, my body aches have gone away. I've just noticed that I'm not achy. So I think I did turn the bend today. I'm just really surprised that this flu shot gave me side effects. First time ever. And I get the flu shot every year because it's mandated for my job. And well, if you don't get the flu shot, then you have to mask up. But we mask up anyway. But pre-COVID, if you didn't opt for the flu vaccine, you had to wear a mask the whole flu season. But if I didn't get the flu vaccine, like when I was in college, and before college, I didn't vaccine. I got the flu every single year. It didn't fail. It was either right before Thanksgiving or right before Christmas. I'm just gonna pull over to CVS. Does anyone know what CVS stands for? The acronym? I'm just hiding it. I'll dox myself. Jelly Bean, I got the flu shot Friday. And Saturday night, or Saturday mid-afternoon, I started feeling achy and nasal congestion, which developed into a chest cough. I have like a productive cough. And I'm like, and I never get sick. Never. And I'm like, what the heck? I know maybe my immune system is down with, the recent loss of my mom and all that stuff, but I'm pretty healthy. And then I'm like, oh my God, I got the flu shot Friday. And that was the first time I've had a sore arm. That's it. But when I got my first COVID injection, I was fine. The booster shot, I got sick from. So someone told me that because it's a quad vaccine this year, and I looked up if it was the same as last year. And they said there's a slight change in the component of the vaccine, but they didn't say what. So this is a crappy view. Let me just park where there's a tree. Want to see a tree? Okay. All right. You sound kind of miserable. I'm sorry. I feel better. Yes, Saturday night. Oh, it was awful. I couldn't even sleep, tossing, turning. Saturday night, I got up at like 4 a.m., took more Tylenol, and then yesterday I started taking Dayquil. So I'm feeling a little bit better. It's drizzling out. You got sick from the booster too? Yeah, I'm really apprehensive about getting a second booster. And now there's a third one or a fourth one? I can't even keep up with them. Hey Jenny, how are you? Oh, Flora, that's good. So the travel agency took full responsibility. Yeah, some travel agencies. You know, it's like they come and go. Because I think Makeup Mobster, she booked a trip and it happened during COVID, unfortunately. And that travel agency closed up a shop. So I don't even know. I should ask her if she ever got her refund back. Oh, Jenny, thank you. I'll be fine. I'm feeling better. The body aches have stopped. I don't know if it's just the Dayquil I'm taking the medicine, but oh, you went to Paris? Nice. Hi Nichols, your lymph nodes swelled after. Yeah, that can be common. Thanks, Rosie. So did anybody watch the Queen's funeral today? I watched a little bit of it. I'll tell you, the costumes are brilliant. The colors are absolutely magnificent. The colors, their uniforms. And like I said earlier, it puts the United States to shame because the UK's got class. Even the crowds were polite. You would never see that in the States. You'd have protesters, you'd have people getting arrested, screaming, "Yo, Queen," you know. I mean, truly, they put us to shame. And I'll admit it. So, rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth II. Vitamin D helps in large amounts. Yeah, 7,000 units per day leading up to shots. You know, when I was living in Maui, I was in the sun every day, every single day. And I had such a fatigue. And my vitamin D was like 11. And that's being out in the sun. So it's very important for people to get their vitamin levels checked, even if you think you're getting enough sun. Yes, passport required. So the license requirements in the United States, is that mandatory now? Because I haven't done that. Where you have to bring your social security number and proof of your name. I have the documents, but I never went to the registry. So I don't know if I wanted to say book a flight tomorrow. And I book flights like last minute. I don't wait like months. When I book to Maui, I usually book like a month ahead of time or less. You watched with your little grandson. It was lovely because he enjoyed the palm and ceremony. Yeah. Aunt Timon, all I could think of was the Nutcracker. Like how popular nutcrackers are in the United States around Christmas time. And they were saying how heavy her casket is, her coffin, because they line it with lead to preserve the body when it's lying in state for a week. So they have to make it airtight. Can you imagine? I don't know how heavy it was, but can you imagine? And there were 8 pallbearers, right? And you could tell in their faces, I mean, you know, that they put all their energy into holding that up. But that had to be so heavy. Yeah, so her casket is lined with lead and a particular wood. And also, they had the same casket with Princess Diana as well. I don't think it was done without effort. I think you have strong, strong guys that just did what they needed to do. And I kept waiting, please don't trip. Please, like one move, like no, 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 no. But that funeral was perfect. Flawless to me. And how they got that all together so quickly after her death, how they organized it. It was amazing. The bagpipers are beautiful, yeah. And the horses, the black horses, oh my gosh. Bagpipes always make me cry. Yeah. Rosie, you're fine. Right, Denise. Everything was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And how they managed to put it all together in that little bit of time. I think I heard somewhere where they actually pre-planned this. Like 50 years in advance. The Queen was so beautiful. Yeah, what a smile she had. I really respected her. I'll be honest with you, when Diana was killed, I didn't like the royal family at all. I never followed them, but I was angry. Hi, Davida. I was angry, and I remember the Queen's speech when she addressed it, and I was so angry with her. That stiff upper lip kind of thing, and I really believed that. And I was angry with Charles, for doing what he did, and Camilla, they're both homewreckers in my eyes. And but throughout the years, I will say the Queen proved herself, to me anyway, to be a very noble woman. I think she softened up a lot. The Queen herself planned everything for her own funeral. Wow. It was amazing, just 2 days before greeting the Prime Minister. Yeah. So I would think that it was very unexpected. And, it was interesting that, Prince Philip passed away, a year and a half prior. And, the stress of losing a spouse, the broken heart syndrome, I believe in it. And what happens is the stress of losing the love of your life, the stress on the heart enlarges the heart and breaks it. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I've seen couples pass as little within 12 hours of each other. So I truly believe that. And I often wondered if that's what happened to her. Yeah. And she's with her husband. You're probably going to laugh at this, because I don't follow the royal family faithfully. Princess Anne, it wasn't until today, and please don't laugh, I thought Princess Anne was her sister. Honestly, I had no idea she was her daughter. No clue. No clue. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about Princess Anne or Prince Anne or whatever she's called. Nothing. I was embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, I thought that was her sister. Flora, your grandparents passed away 24 hours apart. Oh my goodness. So now I know that Anne is her daughter. Maybe it was her hairdo. Very outdated. So that's probably why I thought of her as older. And the woman who should have been queen. When my uncle passed, his very healthy dog passed a month later. Wow, yeah, you see? Yeah, Nichols, I'm going to. I'm very curious now to look into Anne. And I'll tell you, they all, from the United States, we'd be slobbering. They really held it together. I'm amazed. I just, that stiff upper lip, I'm amazed. They're very classy people. Hey, Kayla, how are you? If she was born a few years later, rules changed. First child, male or female. Wow, yeah. So back then, yeah, it was just men. Isn't it interesting that just how things could change? Like if it were a male or a female, and Anne was queen, or instead of Charles being king. Yeah, the horses were magnificent. All I kept thinking is I was trying to look for the pooper scoopers. There had to be pooper scoopers, in case the horses went. They don't be like, hey, I gotta go, He's 2 years older than Anne. I'll tell you, Charles is looking better in his older years. He looks healthier. He always was so too thin. But he looks good with some weight on his face and white hair. He actually looks distinguished, even though I believe he's a homewrecker. And Camilla, forget it. I just don't like her. Never will. Never will. I heard that he just married Princess Diana. He married her for find the young virgin, beautiful bride. I don't know if that's true. I think maybe it is, because all along he was having an affair with Camilla. You don't like Camilla. I don't either. Nope. I could never show my face. Never, if I did that to anyone. First of all, I wouldn't. You're married. I've been on dating apps years ago, and do you know how many guys I met who deny being married? Then you meet them and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna get a divorce. I'd be like, bye. See ya. Me too, Davida. He looks more distinguished, which will probably be for his benefit at this point. Prince William of Gloucester was hot. All right, well, I'm gonna end this live. Might as well run it to CVS. Anybody want anything? And again, if you're a creator and you don't want to be tagged, the @ symbol, Casbat mentioned you block that channel, and also on your notifications, you'll see you've been notified from a particular channel. You don't even have to click open the channel. To the right, there's 3 vertical dots. You click that and you can use the block options that way also, but probably just easier to block. Maybe it's talked about because he was divorced then. Is that why she should have been queen? She didn't want to be queen. If you remember the interview Diana did, at that time she said something like she would want to be queen of the people, like of the hearts. She cared about humanity and the people. And at that time, the royal family to me seemed very standoffish and cold. Now you see them always greeting the public, so, you know. But at that time, when they asked Diana that, she could not see herself being queen for the royal family. Diana knew she would never be queen. Thanks, Kayla. Thanks for coming in. You want some ice cream, Jelly Bean? They sell Ben & Jerry's in there if you like your ice cream with a whole bunch of stuff in it. Could you please pick up a Dr. Pepper for me? Sure, Davida. I'm not across TBRF much at all, and so much rubbish printed. My queen was much loved by many. Yeah, like I said, I started respecting Queen Elizabeth. You know, she started being more of a people's person. And beautiful smile. Beautiful smile. God love her. She had her own teeth, you know. You saw the human part of her, you know, and it's important. And I think the royals recognized that, especially after the death of Diana. They had to do something. They had to do something different because even the United Kingdom wasn't happy with them and put a lot of pressure on them for the Queen to say something about her death. Yeah, her own teeth. My mom had her own teeth. Beautiful teeth. White teeth. I'm not a Charles fan, but I cried seeing his teary eyes today. Yeah, I mean, it's the loss of your mother, you know, and I know people say, well, she was 95 or whatever. They lived a good, long life. And when you lose your mother, it's never long enough. Never. Never. I don't care if they're 110. It's never long enough. If someone were to say to me, well, you know, your mom lived a good, long life, I'd be like, huh? No. No. That's right, still your mother. It's like you really feel orphaned. It's the weirdest feeling. I can't stand how they're all bound to the men in gray. It must be nerve-wracking working in the firm. Did you see the interview by the chef that used to work there? They interviewed one of the chefs there. And he was very lovely, you know, and he talked about what it was like being the cook for the Queen. And he only had one plate returned in all the years that he cooked for them. And that was a plate that they would make their own dog food for her corgis. And I guess rather than stewing the meat, he felt it'd be faster to put it through a meat grinder. And then he served it, and then the plate came back, and the Queen said something like, best to cook it the other way, you know? But that was the only plate that was returned to him. Right, Carolyn's Lee comments. Yeah, good point. And you know, I asked one of my YouTube friends in private. We were talking one night, and I said, the only thing I fear about death is bumping into people I didn't like, you know, or horrible people if they're up in heaven. And she said to me, God wouldn't allow that. And isn't that true? So now I don't worry about it. Like, God would not allow that. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to see my ex, or, you know, someone who hurt me terribly in life, you know, we don't have to see them. God would not allow that for us. So I often wondered, is Princess Diana and Queen Elizabeth going to meet? You know? And if she doesn't want to meet her, she doesn't have to. One lady they talked to was from my city. Well, what are the odds? Oh, wow. You did see the interview with the chef. Yeah, it was great. It was a good interview. They're so polite, aren't they? You know, you interview someone here in the States. Yeah, I work for the Queen. What about it? Yeah, it was cool. It was wicked cool. Yeah, you know, sent a plate back, whatever. Honestly, I just love how classy they are. I love that the Queen bowed to Diana's casket. Many scandals for monarchy of late. Never will understand how it's even a monarchy. It doesn't seem fair that they have all the money they do. Some say it won't exist anymore in 10 years. I don't know what to think. Yeah, who knows? Didn't the family still have to bow even when it was just family? Not sure. Yeah, Davida, can you picture that? An American, like, working over there as a chef? Yo, Queen, what do you want? What's on the menu? What's on the agenda today? You love all the traditions, respect. They still adhere to. We have such little respect, right? There's another place for those people. Yeah, that is true. All right, everyone. Listen, thanks, mods. Thanks, Carolyn Deleted Comments, for dropping the PayPal. I appreciate that. Everyone have a great night. We'll see who's going live tonight. I thought they wait till after a funeral to bring it up again. No, plenty of talk about it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, behave yourselves. Be safe out there. All right, we'll talk soon. All right. If the sun is out tomorrow, I'd like to do a sunset. And I'm gonna, thanks, Steph. I'd like to show you, and I think I'll feel better by tomorrow. I'm already feeling better. The yoga warm up, the back stretching, and it's not hard at all. It's not hard at all, and I can show you how to do that. And if you can't get on the ground or cross your legs, you can do it sitting in a chair as well. So, and it's easy. It's easy. You're welcome, Tonda. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I truly appreciate it. And check out the blue herring video I just put up. There's tons of herons throughout the world, but these particular ones are in New England, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, the northeast part of this. I think they're in actually I'm sure I think they're just, all herrings are in North America. I don't know if the blue herring is distinct to New England or not. But yeah, they're quite beautiful. And 4 feet tall. 4 feet tall bird. That's a big bird. All right. See you soon. Good night, everyone.